In this tutorial, I was going to discuss the circuit on week 1 using a transistor. Now, a transistor is a kind of switch, okay? It's an electronic switch. And most of them, or the ones that we use, look a little bit like this one here, okay? This is a 547B. We quite often use a 548B. They look absolutely identical. If you look at the shape of it, there's a flat piece and a curved piece, okay? Maybe that's not the best picture. We'll maybe find another one in a second, okay? But this flat bit here allows us to know that which one's there, okay? Now, the 3 pins. The pins are, okay, the one in the middle we call the base, okay? This one here is called the emitter, and this one here is called the collector. And sometimes they draw it down like this as well, okay? So if you imagine that's the flat piece there, the middle pin, okay, is the base on this one. Okay, this one over here is the collector, and this one here is called the emitter. Now, how does it work? Well, the electricity, okay, the electrons want to flow around in a circuit, okay? Now, you connect up these 2 pins here. So the idea is that the electrons want to flow from the emitter to the collector. So they want to go along here, okay? Now, because what's stopping them normally flowing through there, okay, is this bit here, this middle one, this sort of junction. And the junction is the base. And the base is kind of like a swinging door. It kind of opens and closes, and that allows the electrons to flow. And what that controls is by a semiconductor. So when it's got enough power, it switches on, and then the electricity can flow. When this hasn't got any power, it switches off, the electricity stops, okay? So let's have a look at an example. So here's an example of a circuit, and this is the one on week 1 that you've got to write up for the badge and explain what's going on. So let me explain away, and then hopefully you can put it in your own words, and off you go. So what have we got? Well, let's start with the basics. We've got 5 volts up here, that's our power supply. Down here we've got an LED, and we've got a 330 resistor, a load resistor there, just to protect that blowing up. Okay, so that would be quite a normal circuit going on there. Okay, now what we've got here, this strange piece of equipment which you don't use very often, okay, it's called a signal generator. Now the idea, as you can see, it produces between 0, or just about down to 0, and all the way up to 5 volts. If you watch it, it goes all the way up to 5, and then it goes all the way down to 0 again. It doesn't quite get to either of them, but you see what's happening is going between that range up and down. Okay, so what's happening is, well, if I look at the circuit, when it's above 3 volts, the LED's on. When the circuit's below 3 volts, the LED goes off. Now what's happening is that signal is feeding into the base here, okay, of our transistor. This is our transistor. So that when it's above 3 volts, this switches on, okay, and when that switches on, it allows the flow around. So look, that's on now, the flow goes around. Okay, as it comes down, it switches off, and that switches off. And this is a way of being able to use electricity to act as a switch. Okay? Hopefully that's been helpful.